The night my sister pointed to a folding chair beside a trash can and said, "That seat is for you," I smiled, because in that moment, she thought she was humiliating me. She didn't realize she had just started her own downfall. My name is Claire, and all my life I was the daughter people depended on, but never celebrated. My older sister, Vanessa, she was sunshine in public, poison in private. Beautiful, charming, manipulative. Our parents treated her like royalty. And me, I was the backup plan. The responsible daughter, the quiet one. The one who paid bills when dad struggled. The one who covered mom's prescriptions. The one everyone called when life fell apart. Somehow, never the one worth honoring. I accepted it for years, until Vanessa's engagement dinner. That night changed me forever. 3 weeks before the dinner, mom called, her fake sweet voice. "Claire, sweetheart, Vanessa wants a rooftop engagement dinner. Could you help book it?" Help. That word in my family always meant pay for it. I should have said no, but I didn't. Private rooftop venue, 22 guests, luxury menu, $500 deposit, my card, again. I even ordered custom flowers because Vanessa said white roses looked classy. I told myself, maybe this time I'll feel included. What a joke. The night arrived. I wore a black dress, pearl earrings, even brought vintage champagne as a gift. I walked into the rooftop glowing under string lights. Everyone was laughing, toasting, taking photos, and Vanessa looked at me, smirked, then pointed. A folding chair beside the service station, near a trash can. "Family table's full," she said, "but there's a seat for you." People laughed. My mother looked down. Dad sipped wine. No one defended me. No one. I stood frozen. Then Vanessa leaned in and whispered, "Don't make this about you." That sentence burned. But I sat down, alone. For 2 hours I watched them celebrate love, using money I paid. I watched my sister toast loyalty. I watched everyone call her an angel. And I realized I had funded my own humiliation. Then the check came. $3,460. The waiter approached. "Ma'am, should I run the card on file?" My card. Vanessa smiled. "Oh, Claire's got it." And something inside me clicked. I stood slowly, smiled, and said, "Not my table." Silence. Vanessa blinked. Well, I looked around. "You said this table was for family only." Then pointed at my folding chair. Apparently I'm not family. The room froze. I grabbed my coat. "And strangers don't pay your bill." I walked out, leaving my sister staring at a bill she couldn't cover. That was the first punch. But karma had just opened the door. That night my phone exploded. Mom screaming, dad guilting, Vanessa raging. "You ruined my engagement." I ignored all of it. Then my phone rang again. Unknown number. It was Daniel, Vanessa's fiance. His voice low. "Did you really pay for everything?" "Yes." Silence. Then Vanessa told his family she paid. I laughed. Of course she did. But Daniel's mother? She didn't laugh. Apparently she was furious because she discovered her future daughter-in-law publicly humiliated the woman funding the party. She asked Daniel one question. If she does this to her own sister, what will she do to a husband? And just like that, cracks formed, wedding planning froze, arguments started, trust shattered. Vanessa blamed me, naturally. 3 days later, she stormed into my apartment. "You fix this." I stared. "No." She scoffed. "You're jealous." That made me laugh. Jealous? Of a woman who weaponized everyone around her? No. I was finished being her supply. And that's when I cut her off. Every dollar, every favor, every secret rescue. Gone. There was a shared account I kept for emergencies she often borrowed from. Closed. The streaming bills she used. Canceled. Credit line I co-signed years ago. Removed. The next morning, she called panicking. My card got declined. "I know. You can't do this." I smiled. "Family only, remember?" And hung up. Punch number 2. A week later, Daniel emailed me. Subject. I ended the engagement. I read it twice. Vanessa's perfect wedding? Dead. Ring returned. Venue canceled. Dream collapsed. Because one public cruelty exposed everything. Daniel wrote, "When someone humiliates kindness, they reveal character." I saved that sentence. Meanwhile, Vanessa spiraled. Told relatives I destroyed her life. Funny. As if I sat her beside a trash can. Then came the twist. My Aunt Margaret called. Family truth teller. She said, "About time someone stopped feeding that monster." I almost cried because someone finally saw it. Years of silent abuse. Named out loud. That changes a person, but life wasn't done. One Sunday, Mom appeared at my door, holding lasagna. Crying. Actually crying. She sat in my kitchen and whispered, "We used you. No excuses. No manipulation. Truth." And somehow truth hurt more. I asked quietly, "If I had treated Vanessa the way she treated me, would you have defended me?" Silence. That was answer enough. She apologized. Real apology. First one in my life. And something softened. Not repaired, but softened. Months passed. Vanessa moved back home. Again. No fiance. No wedding. No glamour. Just consequences. And for the first time, I lived for me. I took the Paris trip I'd canceled years earlier. Walked alone by the Seine. Ate pastries at sunrise. Felt free. Then, 8 months later, Vanessa called, crying. "First time ever. Can we talk?" Against instinct, I agreed. She looked wrecked. No designer glow. No arrogance. Just panic. She owed money, debt, personal loans. She wanted me to co-sign one more rescue. Of course. I nearly laughed. After all this, still using me. She whispered, "You could save me." I looked at her. Saw every birthday she ruined. Every insult. Every time I paid. That chair by the trash can. Then said, "I already saved you." She looked confused. "How?" "By letting you fail." Her face collapsed. "You'd let your sister drown?" I leaned in. "No. I'd let a grown woman swim." Then I stood and left. Final punch. A year later, I heard she took an ordinary office job, started paying debts, stopped pretending to be special. Funny how consequences can do what love never could. And me? I bought a small apartment, started my own consulting firm, made friends who felt more like family than blood, built a life no one could use. And one Thanksgiving, Mom invited me over. I almost said no, but I went. Vanessa was there. Quiet. Smaller somehow. Dinner was awkward until dessert. Then she looked at me and said softly, "I was cruel to you." Work stopped. Silence. She swallowed. "I thought putting you down made me bigger." I stared, waiting for a trick, but there wasn't one. Just regret. Real regret. And for the first time, I believed she understood. Maybe loss taught her what family couldn't. Maybe humiliation humbled her. Maybe people can change. Sometimes. After dinner, she walked me to the door and whispered, "I hated you because everyone relied on you, and no one ever really trusted me." That stunned me. All those years beneath arrogance, envy, sad really. I hugged her briefly, not because everything was fixed, but because bitterness had expired. Driving home, I realized something. Walking away from that bill didn't destroy my sister. It forced truth into the light, and truth wrecks what pretending protects. People say revenge is loud. Mine wasn't. Mine was silence, boundaries, refusal, consequences. And that was far sharper. Because the night my sister sat me beside a trash can, she thought she made me small, but she only pushed me toward the moment I finally stood up. And when I did, her perfect life collapsed under the weight of its own lies. Because sometimes the quiet daughter everyone overlooks is the one who ends the whole story. And trust me, that ending was worth every second.